everyone, and welcome to Ommy'z World. I'm Ommy. Today we're going to do our first book, which is my second book that I published, Tory'stoolittle. This book is about my children and some of the experiences that they had while they were growing up. It's also going to teach your kids about moral, about respect, about kindness, about treating people the way they want to be treated. Although there are some examples in this story, it kind of may feel a little sad, or it might remind you of something in your own past. The story does turn around, so stay with me. We're going to use one of the biggest nations in the world, our imagination. That's right, that big muscle in your mind. So stay with me, and we'll be right back with Tory'stoolittle. Okay, so I'm back, and as I said, I am going to read Tory'stoolittle, and I'm sorry it's backwards for you because of the way my phone is set up, but I will fix that the next time. But I'm going to read the story, but take a look at the images that you see on the story first of all, and take notice to the expressions of the characters' faces. What do you notice about each character? Take a look here. We'll go to the main character. Her name is Tory. What do you notice about Tory's expression? Exactly. Her eyes are rolled up in her head. She's looking up. Usually when your eyes are up like that, you're either thinking about something, you're worried about something, you're upset about something, you know, you're annoyed about something. So take a look at the people who are above Tory's head. And her eyes are kind of slanted towards what would be my left and your right. And those are her siblings. The siblings' name are Kai, and the nickname for the other brother, his name is Doobie. And her eyes are kind of rolled, looking at both of those siblings, rolled up in her head. And then if you take a look over here, oh, and let's go back, because the siblings' tongues are sticking out. So it looks like there's a little bit of teasing going on, perhaps. Then look over here at Mom's expression. Mom doesn't look too happy. And most parents won't when there's problems among their children, okay? And the book is called Tory'stoolittle. Does that make you think about anything? Is there ever a time when maybe your siblings thought you were too little to go with them and go play? Okay, I had someone who read the book, a beta reader, and one of the things she said was, this just made me sad because I remember the time when I kind of got picked on a lot. So we're going to listen to the story, and we'll talk a little more throughout the story. Okay, so the genre of the book, as you know, is going to be nonfiction. I mean, it's going to be fiction, excuse me, not nonfiction. It's going to be fiction because some of the things that you'll see in the story, in the images, number one, that's what it is. The images are illustrations and not real photographs. So real photographs would indicate that it's a nonfiction text. When there are illustrations, that lets us know that there are fictional characters or fictional text. And the other thing is Tory didn't look like this, neither did Akai and Doobie, and neither did Mom. So this is definitely a fiction text. So that lets us know that the genre, and that's what that means, genre, when it's either fiction, nonfiction, realistic fiction, the genre of this story is fiction. So most times I would have asked my students, make a prediction of what you think is going to happen in this story, just by the expressions of the characters. That expression right there lets us know somebody's not happy. These faces over here lets me know somebody's not being as nice as they could be. And Mom's face here is letting me know she's not going to be happy about it. So let's go on. And keep in mind, Mom and Dad, these are the cute little cards that you can use to help your students think about what is happening in the story. Here we go. Who thinks that being small is fun? And who says that the youngest sibling gets their way? Well, don't believe it because it's not true. When you're the youngest, everyone older picks on you. If you had older brothers and sisters, then I'm sure you'll agree that all they do is pick and tease. See those tongues out again? It's like some teasing is happening there. One day, my sister Akai and my brother Doobie were going to the park to play. So I said, can I come along with you today? Mom looked at me and nodded yes, but they looked at me like I had the plague, and in chorus they said, uh-oh, does that make you think of something when you asked your older siblings could you go along? Mom said it was okay, but those older siblings, let's see what they said in chorus. Tory's too little. She's just too small. She can't even catch a ball. All she does is whine and cry. And the last time we took her to the park, she tattled like a spy. Interesting. I wonder why the author used that figure of speech, tattled like a spy. Why did she use those words? Like a spy. Usually a spy gets information and then they go back and tell it. I wonder if Tory was doing that. She wants us to push her on the swings, play baby games, and do silly things. Tory's too little to take care of herself, and when she doesn't get her way, she cries for help. Boy, they were really upset. Look at them in the story. They're not too happy about taking Tory with them. I wonder why. Was Tory behaving like a spy? Let's listen. With tears in my eyes and a sad face, I looked at Mom to plead my case. Tory's got something to say here. They think that I'm too little, and they say that I'm too small, but they won't teach me to catch the ball. When we play games like hide and seek, they get me out first because they peek. They never want to take me along, and I don't ever do anything wrong. What does that tell us about Tory? She is up here telling Mom. She says she doesn't ever do anything wrong. So Tory is a character in the story, one of the characters. She's actually the main character, pretty much who the story's about. But what is this saying about her as a character? That maybe she's upset about what's being said about her? That she doesn't believe it's true? Or that she's defending herself? So what is that saying about Tory? She's defending herself, she's upset about what's being said about her, she's angry, or she's worried that she's not going to get to go play. We'll find out. Let's keep reading. In my defense, Mom replied, she's your little sister and she's small, but she's growing every day and it won't be long. So when you're playing games, take the time to show her how. I know she's only 5, but that's just for now. Interesting. This visualization of Mom explaining how Tory's going to grow and how she's only 5, what does that help you to think about in this story? Maybe this thing's going to go on for a little bit until her siblings realize that she's actually growing up. Does that remind you of anything with your siblings? Let's keep reading. I ran up the stairs to grab my jacket so that I could go out and play. But when I came down the steps, I could still hear them say, Tory always gets her way and she doesn't help with anything. All she does is giggle and laugh. She doesn't clean up when she takes a bath. Oh boy, those siblings were really upset. Look at their faces. We have to help her all day long while she sucks her finger and sings silly songs. We don't want to take her with us, not at all. Even though she's 5, she's still too small. Well, I went to the park, but I didn't have much fun. They tied my shoestrings together, spun me around, and made me run. That wasn't nice at all. Let's see what else happened. They didn't treat me nice at all, and they wouldn't even let me play ball. Then they laughed at me until I cried and told Mom all I did was whine. I think this might have been part of the story that I disliked the most, that made me sad, because Tory was kind of getting picked on. I mean, tying her shoestrings together and making her run. That's some real mean stuff from a brother and sister to do to their little sister. Let's keep going and see what else happens. Over the years, even though they didn't like it, Mom made them take me along. Uh-oh. But it didn't matter how much older I got. They still complained and sang the same old song. Tori always gets her way and doesn't help with anything. All she does is giggle and laugh, and she doesn't clean up when she takes a bath. Did you see that? We have to help her all day long while she sucks her finger and sings silly songs. We don't want to take her with us at all, even though she's 6. She's still too small. So that tells us some changes happen. That tells me there's like a pattern in the story. Tori started when she was 5, and now Tori is 6. And they say she's still too small. Let's see what else happens. It was tough when I turned 7 years old, but I didn't quit. I was getting older, and I survived their mean and dirty tricks. Over the years, all they did was tease me and pick. And on my 8th birthday, they fed me candy until I was sick. Look at this illustration. It looks like Tori's sad. Are those tears in her eyes? I think they are. I wonder why Tori's crying. Could she be crying because they teased her? Could it be on her birthday because it was her birthday? They did something to her, made her have a bellyache? Let's keep reading and find out. We have to help her all day long while she sucks her finger and sings silly songs. We don't want to take her with us at all. They said because Tori is just too small. Do you think Tori's upset because she's too small? Or do you think she's upset because they're not treating her kindly? Let's keep reading and find out. Another time, they covered my eyes. They said they were making me chocolate pudding, but they fed me mud pies. Then they poured bubble in my lotion and got soap in my eyes. They did everything to pick on me and said this is the reason why. Tori always gets her way and doesn't help with anything. All she does is giggle and laugh. She doesn't even clean up when she takes a bath. What do you think the narrator was trying to do with these illustrations? Excuse me, the illustrator. What do you think the illustrator was trying to let us see? Take a look at the siblings' faces. Could it be that they really, really believed that Tori was irresponsible and wasn't helpful, and they felt like they had to do everything for her? Have you ever been an older brother and sister, or have you had an older brother and sister and they felt like they had to do everything for you? Could you kind of understand their frustration, maybe just a little? I'm not saying it was good for them to be mean to Tori, but maybe they were a little tired of helping. Let's keep reading. We have to help her all day long while she sucks her finger and sings those silly songs. Remember, they've said that several times. We don't want to take her with us at all, even though she's 8. She's still too small. So Tori turned 8 years old and they said she's still too small. One winter day, we wanted to play in the snow. So Mom bundled us up because it was really cold. Take a look at that. We're all bundled up. Did you see Tori up here as the narrator? She's telling her story. Now, how old is the Tori again? She's 8. So wait, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 years later, you're still upset? Let's see. We were supposed to be sledding in the snow. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a page. Then she turned to my sister and brother and said, now this is Mom talking, take care of your little sister and be nice. And with their sneaky sweet voices, they said, don't worry, we'll help her to walk on the ice. Later, they teased me and said that they had crossed their fingers twice. Oh, so they had a plan. That's pretty neat. Oh, I think you can see his fingers are crossed. Ooh. We were supposed to be sledding in the snow, but they put me in a basket and down the front steps I rolled. What setting is this? The setting is the location that they are where the story's being told. So take a look. I see some steps. I see a house. But then I see snow. Are they outside? If you said that, you're absolutely right. Good job. The setting is outside by the house. Then they made an igloo and said, let's play inside. They sent me in and watched the whole thing collide. I was upset, but I didn't cry. Because in a few more days, I will be turning, how old? Exactly. She's turning 9. Wait, 4 years later? They're still upset with Tori? Wow. One rainy spring day, there was nothing to do. My sister was a teenager, so playing with my brother was no longer cool. My mom was cleaning the dishes and talking on the phone. Take a look at Tori. Look how much she's grown up. Do you see? The illustrator made sure to make her look a little more mature. Remember, she used to have the 2 little girl ponytails with the ribbons here? She looks much different now, doesn't she? Tori's all growing up. So Mom was on the phone, and Sister Kai didn't play with brother anymore. But my brother Doobie was in his bedroom playing all alone. And suddenly, to my surprise, he peeked out of his bedroom with a look of kindness in his eyes. And all of a sudden, he said to me, Tori, and that's where we're going to stop today. You want to know the rest of the story? You have to go on ommy'sworld.com or ommy'sworld.net and you can order the book. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's find out what happened to Tori and her brother.